Hey guys, hope everybody's doing great. I just want to introduce this first video on one of my best health hacks, tips that I've found, especially for those of you that I'm recommending to do intermittent fasting. That is a morning bulletproof coffee. This was something I discovered probably about a year ago myself. I've been doing intermittent fasting for a pretty decent while, but when I found this, it really just helped me to be able to do that better and to stave off some of the hunger pains that we can all experience when we're doing intermittent fasting. And whether you're intermittent fasting or not, this is just a great way to kick off your morning, provide good brain food for yourself in the morning. So yeah, I just want to go through simple little recipe here, and you can change this up. You can use your own varieties of butter, your own varieties of coffee. These are just the ones that I'm using now. So of course we want to start out, the first thing is with coffee, and I brewed mine in a French press style, and also I like coffee. I like the way it tastes plain. So when I drink my coffee first thing in the morning, I usually have about 3 or 4 good sips, just plain as the coffee is, just because I like the flavor. I'm a foodie, so I like to enjoy different flavors. Before I even make my bulletproof, I take a couple of sips just because I like the flavor of coffee. You may not, and this may be a better hack for you to make your coffee taste a little better to you. The first thing I want to say about the coffee is that you want to find as quality a coffee as you can. Don't skimp on coffee, and this is a theme throughout all of my nutritional advice that I'm going to give you, is do not skimp on your produce. Don't skimp on your food. Give your body the best that you can, and it will give you the best that it can. I'm a firm believer in that. I mean, obviously, you know, within a certain budget, you also want to be a good steward of your money. I understand that, but I really believe that investing in your food is an investment in yourself, and it is a complete no risk, total reward investment in yourself if you use quality products. So this is counterculture coffee. This was actually some that Diana and Daniel, friends of mine that I'm living and vacationing with, allowed me to use. It's a Ethiopian coffee. It has a real aromatic taste. The caffeine levels are pretty high in this, just because it's a medium roast. I'm not afraid of caffeine. I believe that caffeine actually has a lot of health benefits. But with those of you that don't like caffeine, I would suggest getting a darker roast, which that's maybe something a lot of you don't know, is that the darker the roast, the least amount of caffeine that it has in it. So there's a little tip for you. I also want to talk about the best ways that I've found to brew coffee are either a pour over system or some kind of French press system. That's just what I prefer. I think you get more flavor out of the coffee the longer you let it steep. Those are just a couple that I use. I'll just go through this as I'm making the coffee. The first ingredient that I put in the coffee is Kerrygold grass-fed butter. This stuff is amazing. It has so many great health properties, especially for those of you that are going to start taking me up on the recommendations to get vitamin D. The first thing I want to talk about that is found in high amounts in grass-fed butter is vitamin K2, which not only helps you assimilate vitamin D into your system, it also helps you assimilate calcium. If you're taking a lot of calcium high supplements as part of recommendation from your doctor or anything like that, you want to make sure you're getting in proper vitamin K2 levels. That can cause arterial damage, it can cause heart issues if you're not taking vitamin K2 to supplement with that, and especially with the vitamin D as well. Actually, if you get too much vitamin D and not enough vitamin K2, that's where your sun poisoning can come in. So you want to avoid that at all possible. This is just an easy way to get it in first thing in the morning if you don't want to buy a vitamin K2 supplement. The other ingredient that I'm going to include in this is coconut oil. Is very high in MCTs, with medium chain triglycerides, help you on a variety of different levels. I'm going to post different articles about each one of these products that I'm including in mine, including the Kerrygold grass-fed butter and including the coconut oil, just so you can see, just for the sake of time, so you can see all the different benefits that each of these products have. Also, another good thing, coconut oil, a lot of you didn't know, I got a little I won't say too much, I just got a lot of sun, especially on my face yesterday as we were out on the lake here in Idaho, and this stuff is great for sunburn. I can tell that even today that my skin feels so much better, and Daniel alluded to this, it's almost like my skin is eating the oil whenever I do get, a pretty copious amount of sun, so it's great for that as well. Then the next product I want to talk about is cinnamon. cinnamon is a staple of my diet. I use, you guys will find out, I eat a lot of sweet potatoes. I'm really big on those. Nothing goes better together with sweet potatoes than cinnamon. And there are two different varieties of cinnamon. There is Ceylon, which a lot of people say is quote unquote true cinnamon. And then there's cassia or cassia. That's another variety, and people say, well, that's fake cinnamon. But I just recently discovered an article on Mark's Daily Apple, which I know I'm a big proponent of Mark, a big fan of his. There are health benefits to both. So, you know, I guess if you want to be a stickler and say one is true, one is not, whatever your preference is. One does, I will say that the Ceylon I've had before does have a milder taste. Cassia or cassia actually has a little bit of a stronger taste, but I prefer the cassia. I like the stronger taste, and like I said, there's health, and it's easier to find as well. I'm not saying you can't use either one. They both have great properties in them, and I'm going to post an article as well, and actually a video. I just found a very cool informational video about cinnamon, just giving you all the different, I mean, this stuff has been used since biblical times to heal and to promote so many great things in the body, antibacterial properties, digestion, health. It's actually really good for maintaining proper insulin levels throughout the day. So that's why I actually put it in my Bulletproof Coffee, is because what you want to avoid when you're doing an intermittent fast is an insulin spike. You want to regulate your insulin levels. What usually causes hunger pains in people is that their insulin levels are going up and down throughout the day, and that's what sparks hunger. So this really helps with that, and especially included in the fat. It's just a great combination. I mean, you'll notice when you start trying this stuff that you're able to go long periods of time without eating, and it's not going to really affect you in a negative way. So first thing I'm going to do, like I said, this coffee is not quite as hot as when it originally started. So I'm going to start with the leftover coffee that I have here. I'm going to pour that in, and then I'm going to add some hot fresh spring water that we harvested here locally in Idaho. I'm also a big proponent of spring water. I believe that the closest you can get to the source as possible is where you're going to get the best water. A lot of people say water is just water. Well, it's not. I'm just telling you from my own personal experience, it's not. Your body's able to assimilate the water and hydrate you a lot better if you use spring water. So if you have a spring, or if you have to buy it at the store, you want to use spring water. So I'm going to add a little hot water here to this, just so obviously so it's going to melt. It's going to melt the butter. It's going to melt. And what's going to happen here is you're going to get what's similar to what you would get in a coffee shop, is like the head on the coffee or the head on a beer, or however you want to prefer it. It's going to create like a real frothy, rich taste. So I'm going to go ahead with my grass-fed butter here. Pretty generous, about a teaspoon worth of butter.
Hey, you're doing great. I would just say it's about a tablespoon.
Okay.
That's a really good video. I think that's a tablespoon, isn't it?
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
About a tablespoon of, you want to add about a tablespoon of the grass-fed butter, and then you also want to do about the same on the coconut oil, about a tablespoon. And like I said, you can vary this. I mean, if you're not a big coconut fan, then add more butter. If you're not a big butter fan, add more coconut oil. Yeah, make it your own. That's one thing I'm a big proponent of, guys. I want you to make these recipes your own. I want you to experiment and find what works best for you. I'm just giving you suggestions, parameters of what I use and what I think what tastes best to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some cinnamon here too. I like a pretty good bit of cinnamon, so I'm gonna probably say about, I don't know, half a teaspoon, somewhere along those lines. And also today, I'm actually not doing intermittent fasting today, so I'm gonna add a little bit of raw honey. And also, honey doesn't really affect your insulin levels like some other things does, and it has a huge amount of great, properties, biological properties, same thing. All of these properties, the thing I like about them is they're very, very antimicrobial, and they're also really high in antioxidants. Cinnamon is probably, I think it's number 7 on the list of all foods we've ever discovered as far as antioxidant properties. Coconut oil is the same. So I'm gonna add about a teaspoon, about half a teaspoon of honey here, not too much, just enough to sweeten it. And guys, this is gonna make this taste like really, really good.
We have a question from the audience. Does it matter if the honey is raw or not?
I believe that it does. I mean, guys, I'm just a believer. The less you mess with nature, the better. I believe that nature just creates, you know, the best product that you can possibly get. The less refined, the more pure, the more less heated, the more raw that you can get. You can get something that's what you want to use. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that. So I do believe that raw honey is the best that you can get, and especially local honey. For those of you guys, I've had a couple people already mention they struggle with allergies. Local honey is really great if you implement that into your diet, especially before allergy season hits, in order to be able to combat, you know, the allergies that you're suffering from. I've experienced that for sure. All right, so I'm gonna pop the top on this. On my Vitamix, it's another great health product, guys, for making smoothies, bulletproof coffee, whatever. Vitamix is an awesome thing to have in your kitchen. Turn it on here. All right, and as you can see, it's got a little bit of that frothy head on there and the honey mixed in. Man, I mean, that's a great breakfast. It's a great breakfast, and you know, to me, it's a lot better way of starting out your day than eating like a really carb high, heavy breakfast. I'm a big proponent that, you know, if your brain's trying to work really fast and it's also trying to digest a heavy meal or a high carb meal that's in your gut system, it's not going to be able to work properly. You're going to feel foggy in the morning. So I'm a real big proponent of eating a somewhat light breakfast, or just doing the bulletproof coffee and then eating lunch, you know, a little while later on. So like I said about the intermittent fasting diet, it's about you want to get it within about a 12 to 15 hour window, and this is just a great way to keep you in that window. Yeah, so bulletproof coffee, guys, it's a great little hack in order to help you just maintain optimal health, and also great for, you know, losing weight. All of these products are great, have a lot of great properties for helping you to drop those extra pounds you're trying to lose. So yeah, it's great being with you today, and I hope you try this. I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions as far as the specific products, I'm gonna, like I said, post videos and links that you can follow if you want to really delve into the different properties that each one of these products has. So the information in this video was something that resonated with you, and you'd like to hear more about such topics based on nutrition and fitness. This was initially going to be the first nutritional video that I was going to upload to my online private Facebook group, but I've decided to make it public, kind of as a teaser sample video, to give you guys a little sneak peek into the group and what's going to be going on. I'm going to be posting one nutritional video, one exercise video, and then also one mental and spiritual based video, encouragement video every week. Just give you some tips that I use in order to maintain optimal health. So if you're interested in optimal health and becoming the best you that you can possibly be, and you're interested in joining my online private Facebook group or coming on one of my retreats, please email me at matthewmccraemovement@gmail.com. And the awesome thing is that if you do become a part of the group, you'll be receiving discounts on my retreats. And yeah, guys, I'm really excited about this journey that I'm going to be taking with people. The guys and gals that are already a part of the group are really excited about what we've gone over so far. So that group officially starts on Monday. So if you're interested in being a part of this journey with us, please email me. That address is matthewmccraemovement@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Thanks a lot. God bless.